Pig Destroyer, Book Burner, 19 tracks for 31 minutes. Fifth studio album from the American grindcore band, released October 2012 by Relapse Records, produced by guitarist Scott Hull, recorded at the band's own Visceral Sound Studios. No real single or chart info around, however this album was...
Chart info is not necessary.
No, not for this. Not for this. No. This album was done as something of a response to the previous Phantom Limb record that they wanted to make this one shorter and punchier. Go for it.
A very extreme band. But what makes it pleasant to listen to is the production. Jeez, it was recorded well. You know, if it had a Dark Throne had a use this, you know, I probably would have got into that a lot more. I thought it was a really great sounding album. Lots of time changes. Jesus, it goes everywhere, but it keeps it interesting that way for me personally. I just the stop start and it goes frantic and then it sort of just plateaus out. It's actually quite good. They're quite good players. It had elements of hard and deathcore. And just straight up metal. It just sort of breaks down into some really cool groovy sort of stuff. Geez, the space between... The use of space sometimes is actually quite good. I like the way it gave you a breath. It wasn't just frantic the whole time. It did create moods and stuff. As chaotic as it can be, it actually did have some parts where it just sort of chugged along quite nicely, even if it was only for a brief period of time.
2 seconds.
Yeah, but it still was enough to catch your breath and then off you go again. It doesn't sound disjointed, although there was so many time changes. I just thought there was still a flow factor that it worked. I don't know how they did it, but they did it well. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was just something completely different to what I normally listen to, but I did enjoy it. The Diplomat, Book Burner and Iron Drunk were my standouts.
Okay.
Only 31 minutes, did you say?
Yeah, it's 110 tracks for 31 minutes.
I think the average length of... I got here now, the longest song on the album goes for just over 4 minutes. The shortest goes for 32 seconds. The average length of song here is just over 90 seconds.
That's not how it's done. Fucking average song should be 10 minutes.
At least.
Fuck. It seemed a lot longer than 31 minutes. Torture was fucking right.
Dream Theater should be tuning this album would be over.
They wouldn't have even tuned one instrument.
Oh, this is not my thing. The playing is impressive. The vocals don't do anything for me. I like harsh vocals when they're done well and broken up with some clean vocals. This is just a full-on fucking onslaught. Cool if that's your thing. As far as harsh vocals go, I like Opeth and Pantera style because it's mixed up a bit. But I didn't have much to say about this at all. I'm fucking 5 out of 10.
Yeah, there you go. For me, this was really good fun. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life dedicated to, spreading the good word of fucking Pig Destroyer or anything, but then again I might, because it's the kind of thing I do. I'm not massive into grindcore normally, but this is a really cool album. I liked it a lot.
That's exactly what I thought.
It's full on, it's brutal, and if you like it heavy, I didn't find it really hard to sink your teeth into. It was really, really cool. If you like, which we probably do, like your Sepultura and like your Slayer, Raining Blood, if you like that, you can get into this. It's not...
Like early Sepultura.
It's not. I didn't find it hard to make this accessible. If you can get into that, I found you could move across to this. Yeah, the vocals are screamo, but I didn't find it to be tuneless and annoying. The tempo changes served the album really well. He said it just gave me a breather when I needed one.
It's 31 minutes. You need a breather?
Yeah,
you do when it's this frenetic.
pretty fucking full on 31 minutes. Jesus.
A long half hour.
Look, it never gets boring or predictable. In a way, it kind of feels like it finished before it started. Yeah, but...
Story of everyone's life in this room.
Yeah, if
Someone's been peeking.
if you like your heavy thrash and stuff, you might be surprised by this. You might find you can really step across to it easily. I know I did. I also gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was cool. I like Permanent Funeral, Iron Drunk, and Baltimore Strangler. The epic tunes on the album.
4 minutes combined. This is what I think I've actually reviewed in the past, way back in the early days. So it was interesting to see going back. So I remember noticing that 19 tracks for 30 minutes before and going, no, I'm sure I've done this one before. Didn't stay with me then, it's not going to stay with me now. I don't know why they even bothered putting titles to these songs. You can barely understand a word, and the whole thing is so abrupt it actually just melts in one big mess as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you can't just say, let's do the one that goes for 30 seconds. Like, which fucking one?
Track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, and track 19, and that's all. man. There is some interesting Foley effects to break it up a little bit. Overall, this is just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a lot of actual musicality to this. If you want it frantic and brutal, welcome home. It's all over the place. This is not meant to be even anything close to easy listening, so if you don't like it even... if you don't even...
It's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fast and heavy, and there's a lot of blast beats.
And a lot of yelling. Yeah. No pig squeals. They avoided that. Yeah. They avoided that. If you were angry at the world, this is how you vent. Like, this is just... the production I have to give a nod to. For how much noise they've created here, it's actually surprisingly well mixed and presented. Very harsh tones as suit the style. The growls are captured well. It's actually pretty well mixed and has depth and space, which I didn't expect when you start listening to this stuff and you go through it and then it's like, okay, go back again. There's actually a lot more going on than you first pick up on. But where I can get into some releases along this genre, this one, you got me on this one. This one's a struggle. I don't hate it. I just don't get it. And I really wish there was more musicality to it. Even just to break things up, because it's just too much. It's good that it's short, because I don't know how long it'll take this for. This is the sort of album they should put on over in, like, the American troops in the Middle East when they're torturing fucking people with, the audio stuff. Yeah. This is the album they'll put on to torture with sensory deprivation and shit.
With a bit of Michael Sweet undertone.
Go from Michael Sweet to this.
With some Nightwish, just to really drive the point home.
Follow in Biscuit. If you like, being tortured in the Middle East, then this is an album for you. Otherwise, this is for devotees of the genre only.
Booking my ticket to Iraq as we speak.
See, this one to me, if you like it frantic and reminiscent of when you'd sit there and bang the pots and pans as a toddler, that's kind of what this comes across as. This is like, when you had Baby Muppets? Yep. Right? Yeah, baby animal, banging on the pots and pans, and that's what this reminds me of. That's kind of what I take away from this album. Very little cohesion to this. I gave it a 2 out of 10. Valley of the Geysers and Permanent Funeral, because they were the only ones that had any sort of length and breadth to them. The rest was just kind of, I don't know what the fuck. Over to you. Explain.
This is, again, a standout album of the genre for me. No, but, okay, so the thing with grindcore is it is a little bit of everything. It's not the down-tuned chugginess that you get of death metal. It doesn't have the grim atonal thing that you get in black metal. It's got a little bit of catchiness in parts. It's the precursor to deathcore in a lot of ways, and some groovy parts. And for mine, I really dig this album. I've always have since it came out. It was one of the best albums of the year for mine when it did come out. So the grindcore band that most people would know would be King Parrot. The difference between King Parrot and these guys is that King Parrot have some remnants of a strong song structure. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge, blah, 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 blah. These guys don't have that. Rather than going to the chorus, it's just the next song.
Actually, that's true.
That's true. So, but that's the point. This is not intended to be taken as a single, or you can pick out bits and songs here and there. It is a complete thing, and the going to the groovy songs and stripping it back and then punching you in the face again with blast beats and yelling. That's the tempo changes that you would get in a full song. And sort of that's how it is intended to be taken. If you can, if you don't mind harsh vocals, and if you don't mind a little bit of harshness here and there, then definitely check out a band like this. If you like King Parrot, then for all means, definitely check this out. It's a 9.5 for me.
So kind of like how Dream Theater break a 50-minute song into 7 different sections. This is like one half-hour song broken into fucking...
Exactly.
So it's progressive grindcore.
Exactly. But that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point, though. You can't take this... If this was 50 minutes long, you couldn't do it.
No.
There's just too much going on. It's not... Yeah, it's supposed to be short and fast and in your face, and that's what it does.
Oh, it does that?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, cool. All right. Well, there you go. Let us know what you think out there after you've checked out whatever we can find for you. Enjoy.
Have you ever heard You Suffer by Napalm Death?
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of the theme of this episode.
That was good.
Angel Dust, Bleed.